Hello and welcome to Happily Ever Eaten. Today I am showing you how I make homemade cinnamon sugar butter, and I don't know what happened to the first clip, but the first clip was me measuring out the 2 cups of heavy whipping cream and pouring it into the bowl, so it was boring anyways. But here we are with the action. So again, this is 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and my favorite is cinnamon sugar, so I have 2 tablespoons of cinnamon sugar in the background. And here we are. This KitchenAid stand mixer my husband got me for Christmas, and I am totally and completely in love with it. So I use it all the time. I'm super thankful for it. And yeah, so here we're going to see the many stages that heavy whipping cream is going to go through before it turns into your butter and your buttermilk. Now, I know that this is probably boring to some people because it's literally like watching paint dry. But if you're anything like me, oh, here's our 2 tablespoons of cinnamon sugar. If you're anything like me, you like to see things from start to finish because you question yourself. So at this stage, we are at the heavy whipping cream part of it. So if you wanted to make, or not heavy whipping cream, your, oh my Lanta, I'm forgetting what it's called. Not cool. Whipped cream. So at this stage, you could add your powdered sugar and vanilla extract, mix that together and have your whipped cream. My suggestion is, unless you've added the vanilla extract and the powdered sugar, don't taste test this. It is not good. Save yourself the horror. So anyway, this is our heavy whipping cream, and we're getting through the yummy stage. It's gonna get kind of questionable here pretty soon, but that's okay. You want to make sure that during all of this, you're stopping here and there to scrape down your sides. You want to make sure that you're incorporating everything. So here, obviously it's super thick. It looks like we have a whole lot of product in there. And you'll see later on in the video where everything kind of condenses and starts separating, and it's actually far less of a yielding than what it looks like it's going to produce at this moment. So here we're going to go ahead and we're going to scrape down our sides, get everything in there. I know I have the absolute most glamorous elbow that you have ever seen. You're going to see her a few times, so brace yourself. At this point, we're probably on, I think, number 4 setting for speed. You could probably go faster. I haven't tried it. I usually stick it around 4 until the end. I switch it up to number 6. Okay, so at this point, you can't really tell in the video, but the buttermilk is starting to separate from the actual beginning stages of the butter at the very bottom, which you cannot see from this angle, but there's already a little bit of the buttermilk. But we're going to go ahead and scrape our sides down and get back to business. Now, at this point, I strongly advise that you do not step away from your mixer because your heavy whipping cream is going to separate very quickly. And when it does, you want to be there to catch it. So from this point on, you'll see me babysitting and just keeping tabs on what's happening. Like I said, your heavy whipping cream is going to go through multiple stages. Some of those stages are going to make you question your choices. There's a certain stage that it gets to where even I question what I'm doing, and yeah, you'll see me walk away. Okay, so I tap on the bowl because I'm trying to remind myself that at this point is where I feel like the buttermilk and the butter is going to separate. It's not. It takes a little bit longer than what I thought, but that's why you see me tap on the bowl. Okay, so around this stage is where I'm beginning to question whether or not whether or not the heavy whipping cream was within date. Again, you'll see me walk away, and when I do, I'm headed to check the date. But be confident, my friends. Be confident, and this is why I tried to film this from beginning to end, so that you're not guessing about which stage you're in. So don't trip. Just trust the process. You can see here that it's like really starting to separate because it's dripping from the whisk. This, you are getting pretty darn close to getting your butter at this point. So right here is when I walk away to go and check the date because I made myself nervous. Remember how I told you that you need to babysit? Because this is why. Do you see how quickly that happened? Do you see how quickly all of that buttermilk starts to spray upwards? That is how quickly your butter is going to separate from your buttermilk. At this point is when you are good. This is when you want to turn your mixer off, and voila, there is your butter and your buttermilk. Now, I would strongly advise, and most people will advise, that when you're making homemade butter, this bowl that you see to the left of just cold water, you actually want that to be ice cold water. So, in most cases, you actually, oh, there's my elbow. You want to incorporate ice in it because you want really, really cold water. However, this idea was not thoroughly thought through, and I didn't have any ice at this moment. So it's very cold water that I use. But again, you'll want to probably use ice water. And there she is. There's your homemade butter. You should be so proud. Look at that. Now you do want to kind of squish your butter because you want to strain out any excess buttermilk. Having excess buttermilk is going to contribute to your butter going rancid a lot faster than it would if you try to get as much of it out as possible. So here I'm squeezing it. You can use cheesecloth too. Cheesecloth itself doesn't make this project any less messy, but it does keep all of your butter together because you'll see here that I just drop it into the cold water and I start to squish it, and I kind of knead it like bread a little bit, but in that you'll see little pieces of butter floating in the water. The cheesecloth is just going to help all of that stay together so you're not chasing butter around your bowl. Here is the rendered buttermilk. Okay, so at this point, I've cleaned out this glass bowl and I'm attaching the spatula, whisk, ladle, not ladle, but I forget what this part's called. But this one that you see, this is the one that I'm going to use for the rest of the project. So we wring out our butter, we toss it in there, get some things out of the way. We're going to turn it on and we're just going to let the butter be beaten around a little bit before we add in our cinnamon and sugar. You'll have to excuse my sniffling. It is April in Missouri and the pollen is attacking at high rates. So everyone is stuffy, everybody has the sneezies, everybody has sinus stuff going on right now. So pardon-moi. Now, really, you could go ahead and just dump all 2 tablespoons worth in at this point right now, but I just kind of broke it off into 2 different segments because I wanted to make sure that I got the amount correct. So the first bit is 1 tablespoon. The 1 tablespoon will not be enough for my personal preference. So yeah, you'll see me add the rest of it. And we're gonna scrape. I don't know about you, okay? But for me, there's probably. And she's a winner. I told you it was excessive. It's super excessive how much I cleaned the little spatula off. Elbow. And there she is. There is your cinnamon sugar homemade butter. You should be proud. So at this point, I grab a very small charcuterie board type thing that I found at Hobby Lobby. I mean, it's super duper small. I've seen this trend where people use these very large charcuterie boards to make their butter boards. To me, that's a bit excessive. It's just me and my husband. We do not need that much butter at one point, at one time. But anyway, so I'm going to scoop it on here. I didn't really think the presentation through, so I wasn't sure what I was doing or what I was going for. And to be honest, the end product, I didn't figure it out. I just kind of stuck it all together. But this was super fun. And yeah. Super fun project. These, gosh, I think they were $8.99 at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, the pollen is already really bad this morning. When I went to head out to town, I already had a green layer of dust on my car, so the pollen is real. Okay, here I am still trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing with the butter, but there is our little baby butter board. She's so cute. So at this point, I'm gonna, I guess you would say garnish it maybe. So I'm gonna get my butter knife, still figuring out what I'm doing with it. At this point, you can do whatever you want with your butter board. I'm gonna be sprinkling a little bit more cinnamon sugar onto it. And then I'm going to be bringing out just some cute cinnamon sticks because aesthetics, I guess. I don't know. But it was a fun project. I really enjoyed it. My cousin brought me Lambert rolls from, I think the restaurant's like in Arkansas. Maybe it is in Missouri. I don't know. I live in Missouri. I know that it's it's in Springfield. Okay, the restaurant is in Springfield. They're known for their rolls, and my cousin came up to visit me last week and she brought me a whole bunch of them. So that's what I use this butter for, is those rolls, and they are divine. And this is just a little video I made. But anyway, thank you for hanging out with me as we make butter, and I hope that your butter turns out delicious as well. Have a great day. Bye.